All right, everybody, welcome back to the Society of Main Characters and our discussions on Daredevil Born Again. Today, we'll be covering episodes 5 and 6, mainly because they were shorter episodes and that's how they were released. So, we're just going to try to keep you up to date with how they're coming out. As you see, we got Grayson, we got Nolan, we got Nick. How you guys doing today?
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, buddy.
I'm doing all right. I just started working out with my family, and my arms are a little sore today.
Unlike Grayson, I am bright-eyed and bearded.
Yeah. He says as he's the one that's like the most poorly lit out of all four of us. He's in the darkest room.
What lit?
You're in the dark.
You're about to get lit up.
Walking into the light.
With my sweet three Wolverine Howling at the Moon shirt. Yeah.
He scored one of those. You'll love to see it.
I dig it. I
love this shirt. This shirt's fantastic. Such a great idea.
Did you get it off of a Homage, that one website, or?
I think so. It's got an H on the.
Yeah.
No, it was something like that. I got a couple off there. It was this one, and then I got a Wolverine one that's like yellow with the little pendant.
Yeah.
And I got the Wolverine and Deadpool Marvel Jam one. Yeah.
Yeah, Keegan and I had a plan to do Daredevil, Deadpool and Wolverine for Halloween, and then I left the company that we were working for. So I don't know what he did, but I still did Deadpool. I did a hockey player Deadpool. I had a hockey stick that I used actual hockey tape, red and black, and then I have a Deadpool hockey jersey.
Got one of those, yeah.
Got some. I know you don't like them, but I got some Air Jordan 1s that were Deadpool colored. They had red, black, and white.
I don't know why you didn't just wear skates. That would have been the better choice.
I mean, it would have, but I was also going to an office building. So
is there a no skates in the office building policy, or?
Well, I mean, I imagine there's no skates for someone who can't walk in them.
I'm just saying, like, if there's nothing in the rules that say you can't wear roller skates, like, seems like
I'll bring it up with my manager and be like, hey, listen, there was some things that were very unclear when I first got hired about 6 months ago. I need you to clear those up now.
And then you look in the rule book, and if it doesn't say you can't wear roller skates, guess what? I'm rocking these bad boys. And then I'll be the guy that they change the rules for. I'll be like Jack or Steph Curry. That's right.
And then guess what? All the rules
when they change the rules because of you. You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
Oh, I have to deal with that enough as is every week. I don't need that now.
Anyways, as you were saying, Keegan, episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah, so it's a two-parter. I have my theories as why they did it as a two-parter. Outside of, I think episode 5 was shorter. My main reasoning, I think they thought people would go kind of batshit if we didn't see Deadpool or Daredevil in his costume.
No, both are red.
I can see that. There would have been some uproar about it. Although, I mean, I don't think there would have been as much uproar as there could have been.
Well, I think, in all honesty, kind of like what we talked about last week, they know what they're doing with the show. They know how to like kind of drip feed you what you want. They built up. Payoff was there. They didn't leave us waiting too long. They didn't leave us waiting, too little. It was built up the right amount of time, and it paid off for sure in episode 6. So.
And can I say real quick, I loved the moment he decided to actually suit up. Like, he calls 911 and then he's just like, fuck it. And drops the phone and goes and suits up, and it's like, yeah, that felt actually really good.
So, Keegan, are we going one at a time, or are we doing just a moose boosh tonight for conversation?
I mean, does anyone have a topic they want to start off with? Nolan, punch count, like, how are we looking there? Punch is looking good.
No, not quite. No, the punch count was, in my opinion, those are rookie numbers. Okay, you got to pump those numbers up. However, that being said, more than 0 punches is good in my book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had the first 7 minutes of the first episode, there was gas, there was bullets, there was knives. He looked like a porcupine, and then nothing until episode 6. Like, that's a big gap without anybody punching somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that's like a really long time. So when they got back to it, when they got back to the punching, like that made me happy. Mostly because like especially so obviously episode 5 was just kind of like leading up or whatever, having conversations to that kind of lead into 6. Because I was gonna say like that was one of those ones that when Berg said he was like you dropped the phone or whatever, like called 911, was like drop the phone. I was like, well, I'll go do it myself. What played into that for me, I think, was that earlier conversation that she had with him that day. She's like, I guess I'm right. I guess my uncle is right. Like you can only count on yourself. You can't count on anybody else or whatever, right? And I think that really kind of like hit him in a sore spot. But yeah, it was one of those ones that I think if it might have been somebody else, he might not have hopped in the costume. But because it was like the lady was like, hey, I haven't seen her. And they're just out here. Apparently, they kidnapping everybody out here. For
hide your wife, hide your husband, hide your kids. They're kidnapping everybody.
They're kidnapping everybody out here.
Literally, he got a call to action. So
yeah, literally, right? So so there's that. But no, it was one of those ones that like I think the bit where you have Kingpin and Daredevil fighting at the same time was
best
pretty
part
good
of the series so far.
That was pretty sick.
I love that part. Like that was super cool. Especially because it was like one of those ones that they sort of like semi like foreshadowed the Kingpin getting bigger. You know what I mean? Like essentially like I guess to the size he was before, because he was big and now he's like little, and then he's getting back to big again, you know what I mean? Fat guy, little coat. So
fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah, that was all I could think of when he tried to put his jacket on. I was like ripped it. I was like, fat guy in a little coat. Yeah, I couldn't help it. That shit was too funny. Yeah, I was just take it off, dickhead. I'm serious. Yeah, but I was like, oh, okay, so there's more like foreshadowing, like building up to it, and that made me like super happy. But I thought for a second there, like him coming downstairs, I thought he was just gonna take the dude out with the axe, like, just hatchet style or whatever. But he was like, weapons. It's a pretty good equalizer. And I was like, oh, that's not for him. That's for the other guy. Okay. Yeah, and then and then commencement or whatever. And I was like, and then he literally just knocks this dude around.
Talk about a 1v1, am I right, boys?
Dude,
Jesus.
oh my god. I don't know if you guys.
That's a solo run. Good God.
I don't know if you guys have ever played Marvel Rivals, but that dude was like a healer. When you're in the back line and somehow there's an Iron Fist back there, you're just getting just whooped, just beat on with no nothing, reckless abandon, just no help is coming for you at all. But yeah, just watching him knock his ass around the dungeon a while, and I was like, that is craziness.
I mean, to Nolan's point, like with them both being like in that stressful situation, like Matt having to deal with the fact that the niece is missing and like having to decide, do I just go against my promise and finally be what I was meant to be because there's nobody else that's going to do it, and then Kingpin having to deal with the fact that he is a big guy swimming in shark-infested waters, and they're just waiting for him to lose everything in order to take whatever's left over.
Yeah.
And when they finally reach that apex of them just both being like, you know what, this is what I am. I can't hide it. Let's play. That was pretty much just they know how to play the dichotomy in this series phenomenally well. And I was honestly, that's the biggest surprise out of this entire thing for me. So like with how just well done and well balanced this entire series has been up to this point, I cannot wait to see how this wraps up, at least for season 1 anyway.
I liked it because it's exactly right. Like, I mean, they were even talking about like building things up and like foreshadowing of more like having a conversation about X and then like X paying off later. In that instance, it was they were talking about masks. You know what I mean? Like, oh, why do they wear masks? Or like, is it the person, you know what I mean? Like, are you the person under the mask, or are you that person, you know what I mean? But the person that you're not when you're inside the costume or whatever is your mask.
Yeah, it's the common Batman and Bruce Wayne thing where Bruce Wayne has become the mask. And
it's 1000% he is Batman and Bruce Wayne is the mask 1000%.
Yeah.
Duality of man. Yeah.
the duality of man. Yeah.
Jeez, nice cut.
One of my favorite. I have to go to the paint today. Anyways,
but Nolan, to your punch count, like, let's be honest, the whole shin splattering super kick, I think that are at least a little bit of an uptick on just the break between the whole events.
I forgot about that, and then on top of that, good wordplay, okay? Because yes, that was a nice break of that guy's like knee and shin. I forgot about that little mini fight. Yeah, oh my god, that was
off.
Yeah, dude. That's I don't know if you're walking that one off, right? Like that guy's not Chuck Norris. You can't
just put some ice on it. You'll be all right.
You'll be okay. Have some ibuprofen. Take 2 of these. Call me in the morning. You'll be okay. Yeah, I forgot about that little bit.
2 of these.
But yeah, no.
2 of these. Call me in the morning. What's up?
It was super nice though to get like back to like very nice choreographed fights, and like it was super weird too because like even that fight where they were fighting like in the street or whatever, like I felt like Matt was rusty. Like
it did look like it for sure.
He looked he was hella out of practice, right? And then like fast forward to him fighting Hush or whatever, what's his face?
Muse.
It was much cleaner. It was a significantly like cleaner choreographed fight. Like it was like he looked like he kind of knew what he was doing again, because it was one of those ones like I was watching that first one. I was like, why does he look like he's kind of getting his ass kicked? Like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It's kind of weird. Because the other guy and that's the thing is like the other guy doesn't really seem like that. It's not like he was a predominant like. They never showed him being like a good fighter. You know what I mean? He just looked like he was just a general Irish thug or whatever, right? So like for him to like kind of struggle with that guy seemed like interesting. Like how's he struggling right now? So
speaking of that fight, did you guys see the Instagram reel I shared to the Discord?
Possibly.
I did see that a little bit. Yeah, at least the first couple seconds before I had to got interrupted. But
it was a guy. He was going over that fight. He goes, he's like J. Jonah Jameson must be smoking dick if he's overly concerned about Spider-Man when Daredevil exists in the same city. It's like, yeah,
actual menace. Yeah,
I can agree with that. Yeah,
dude is an actual menace. That's hilarious, bro.
He's breaking limbs left and right. Like, yeah,
no shit. But yeah, overall the fight was super cool, super good choreographed. Like for both of them, even though one was didn't seem too choreographed because the guy didn't even land a hit. You know what I mean? It was just he got ragdolled for 3 minutes.
I think he's dead at that point.
Well, that was like, sure did he like I mean, he's landing dude's like out clearly, and he's just like, nah, keep holding these.
He's like slamming him on the table. And
stuff. Oh yeah, you're like keep holding these. I do love how he just yells "mine" though, like just mine.
Kingpin is ready, and I got you for 3 minutes.
That's right. I'll like
3 minutes playtime.
Your milkshake. Yeah, and it was one of those ones that like the dragging of the body back into the cell though was just why I was like it's very much like a dummy, but it's just funny watching him because like if you watch at the end and like gives a little toss, like you clearly see that it is very dummy like, and it just like just slides like really far too, and you're like, good God, like that dude just go. Oh, it was awesome. Loved it.
You know what I do have to say is like it's the first time in a long time I've seen a really good like bank robbery like heist setup like atmosphere. Like the Irish gang members going in there, full plan, everything like supposed to go to a certain way, but Matt breaks it up because he hears them like talking about the plan while they're going in and tells them to call 911. That entire like pitch perfect, fantastic build up to what happened in episode 6.
Wait, Grayson, real quick.
Yeah.
Before you forget.
What am I forgetting, Sonny Jim?
Who was the dad there?
I just talking about what's his name, Con?
I just figured since that writing seemed a little kind of forced, where they kept being like, "Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is?" They did it like 3 or 4 times. It's like, okay, I get the first couple times.
My favorite bit though about that part is when he's like, "Oh yes, like look, it's very nice," and he's like,
Blind.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. I thought that was so funny. It's like you should. It's like no, he has no.
Sure it's very nice.
He's a blind man.
I'm blind. Okay, that did make me laugh though. Like it just, I'm blind, man. Like I can't look at what you're showing me. I'm sorry.
I
But
will
yeah,
say
no,
to
it was
that point,
definitely
I thought it was a good
forced
touch that they had a pop figure of Kamala Khan on the desk just to be, because it's a total dad thing to do, is just have like that little representation of their kid on his desk. I thought that was perfect.
Grayson, whose dad is it?
Miss Marvel's dad.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to make sure because Disney wanted to make sure that we didn't forget. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Kamala Khan's dad in this episode.
No, I did like that they're building
Assistant
the
manager
world.
on duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
but
doing, I like that they
assistant
were doing
manager.
world building with it. I actually didn't mind Miss Marvel when I watched the series the first time.
Well, it's not the series. It's just it felt very forced that they kept, even when
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
like trying
yeah.
to break into the bank or the safe, he's like, "It's just like that piggy bank I gave her," and you're just like, "All right, guys."
Bro, that's like the 5th time you've mentioned her. Like,
Well, I
we
mean,
got it.
it felt realistic enough. It felt like a conversation a dad would actually have with somebody else about his kid. You know, it's like if
Especially
a dad, like,
dad.
yeah, like he's super proud of his daughter. He was going to talk about his daughter, obviously, if he's like a super, involved dad, which he is from what it looks like.
That is
But
true.
I mean, I felt like it was a good balance. Like there was enough everything else happening around it to where it wasn't too distracting. Like he's trying to maintain both, not losing hostages, but taking care of the mob, and then, dealing with not revealing who he is to anybody all at the same time. I felt it was a good break in the tension here and there, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I did really like the bank heist scenario and just kind of having to deal with like that situation, but not really show people who he was, having to hide it still. And I just like bank heist movies like Dog Day Afternoon and The Town and stuff like that.
Have you watched, what is it? The one they just made like a second one of.
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves, yeah.
I didn't see the first
heist
one
movie, right?
because at least from the trailer it seemed like a soft remake of The Town, and I was like, I'm okay.
I've never seen The Town, but I did see Den of Thieves. It was not a bad movie.
Well,
The Town's good. It has
you can't ask me where we're going. It's got Ben Affleck,
Jeremy Renner, yeah.
I mean, it's wicked smart. So,
John
I got
Hamm.
one question. Whose car are we taking? Yeah. But
who's running the Dunkin'? All right.
Dunkin' Nuts. No, the yeah, I did like that. I thought that was kind of cool. Like it just, I'm mad that they look like Skittles. And then on top of that, like I'm watching, so I'm watching this, right? And I've not got the best of hearing sometimes. Thanks, tinnitus. Yeah, but I have subtitles on and I'm sitting here and the guys are yelling or whatever, and all it says is red, blue, green, like as like the people are saying it. Like there's no names, it just says the colors. That's it. And I'm like, all right, who did these subtitles? Because it's just the colors, like of the guys speaking. That's it. And I was like, all right, that's no names. I love it. Just colors. That's
well, and I think the bright colors too. Not only I think they were supposed to be like an homage or whatever to the Infinity Stones, which is they were going after the orange, and it was the only one they didn't have. But also, it made the one lady stick out a lot because she wore like bright pink under her. And so I know some people are like, it's like Reservoir Dogs. I'm like, it's not like Reservoir Dogs, but okay.
Not at all.
There was nobody dancing with a straight razor, unfortunately.
Oh, one of my favorite movies. I love that.
The old Alabama.
Madsen, yeah.
No, what do they call
Stuck on You.
No, I mean not the song. The straight razor. They call it something. I can't remember. It's like the Alabama something or other. Any hoozles.
But
yeah,
if you know in the comments below, let us know.
Like, comment, and subscribe right now if you know this.
But no, the I thought that episode was great. Like I said, so far it's been pretty awesome. Where they're headed, at least I hope so, right? Because I swear to God, if it's aliens, Grayson, I'm gonna find you.
No, and it's not aliens.
Why me? But
it's going to be plant people. When we thought it was aliens.
Because you and David,
Irishman, because he's green, he's a plant monster. So therefore,
because you and David, like I said, were colluding over here with damn aliens and space goo, and that's gonna be the end of Daredevil, and I'm gonna be so upset.
Well, you see, it took place on St. Patrick's Day, and they're Irish, and he was wearing green, so he's a plant monster. Therefore, he's made of goo.
And I'm gonna tie your big toes together and then hang you from them.
I did think it was funny that the
wraps this up quicker. Let's do it.
I did think it was funny that the one episode took place on St. Patrick's Day, even though it came out well after St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Also, the hard cut into like the parade and the music, I was like, all right, I can dig this. Like,
yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Set the atmosphere, all right. I tell you what.
Which, by the way, Grayson, points for the accent. Yeah.
Lots and lots of practice there, boy. I tell you what.
Top of the morning to you, laddies.
And right back at you there, Nolan. But me, boy, I tell you what, it's fantastic, your accent too.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Are you like ready for the Lands of Fire?
Yeah, that's how you do it right there. Lots of practice.
All right. Who wants a shamrock shaking a pocket full of shamrocks?
I always want a shamrock.
Little offensive, I'm sorry to our Irish viewers out there.
For some reason, they never want to clean the ice cream machine, so you can never get it, you know? So
I hear you there.
We're talking about the McFlurry?
No, just ice cream in general, you know? I go for a shamrock shake, and, well, they don't have one because they don't want to clean the stupid machine.
Yet they have the Grimace shake that makes no sense.
Right. Nolan, you ever been to
because they're racist, I'll tell you that right now.
Have I ever been to Bruges?
Racist.
They just want the Grimace out there. They don't want to represent our people.
And to that, Keegan, I say, Bruges does not impress me. Maybe if I was from a farm and retarded, it might, but I'm not, so it doesn't.
If anyone hasn't seen In Bruges, go watch it. It's great.
Great movie.
I love that movie.
You're welcome, Keegan. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Your accent,
my favorite line from that movie.
Yeah, your accent was sort of going into Colin Farrell from there, and I was like, I wonder if he's seen it. I was like,
I have, and that's my favorite line in that entire movie.
Oh yeah, great movie. But back to Daredevil. So Muse is running around killing people. They do kind of do some more comic homages as far as the I guess Banksy-ish fans that come up to him. Though in the comic he lets them go, and in this one he kills them.
I was gonna say, like, that was another bit that kind of confused me a little bit. Yeah, because it's like there's that, but it doesn't seem to be like any rhyme or reason to like who he's taken. You know, like, because most of the time, you know, you have the criminal or the villain. They have a motive, okay? And in that motive, there are certain people that fit within the motive. This is just snagging people off the street. You know what I mean? The same thing that the ladies come up, oh, Muse, can we take your picture? And he's like, okay, yeah, you're going too. Like, it's...
Well, no, to your point, I think, like, we're probably going to get that in the next couple episodes, because Muse got away. Like, let's be real. So I think that's going to be part of the huge just build up to the season finale, and I think we're going to get more of that character, because if we're talking about it now, I guarantee it's probably going to show up in the episode that's coming out tonight. So
when you say he got away, what didn't show him getting away, though, did it?
It sure did, because they were, like, fighting, and then he got beat, and then, like, he went to go rescue... I
just remember his eyes opening, and, like, that's it.
Well, they show where he was laying on the ground, and when they show it again, he's gone.
Exactly. He did Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
He did the Irish / Batman goodbye.
Oh, I tell you what, it was a good one too.
The Irish goodbye, yeah.
He's had quite a bit of practice with that one.
Also, can we just talk about, like,
strung him up? I was like, ooh.
Well, clearly he doesn't have his, like, mystical inhuman powers in this show, because I'm pretty sure he's an inhuman in the comics.
Oh, Muse?
Let's find out.
Muse, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the thing too. Is like I feel like they kind of scrubbed the Inhumans from the universe.
Same way they did the Eternals too.
So, and hey, the Eternals took over the Inhuman spot, so maybe that spot's also just cursed.
Speaking of another Irishman, the main dude from that played what's his face in Game of Thrones from the Eternals. That guy, he's Irish.
Well, Going back to Muse, it said he's killed over 60 people. Does Spider-Man just not care?
Like, at some point,
where's J. Jonah Jameson?
This is the exact same point I brought up earlier in like one of our previous discussions. It's like, where are the other heroes?
Yeah, and some of it you can kind of like push it aside and be like, yeah, it's kind of just like a small scale thing. But when it's 60 New Yorkers that have just gone missing and were murdered, so Spider-Man, Hawkeye, I guess the Punishers.
Not to mention a bunch of graffiti art with blood as the main ingredient for the paints.
Well, they
just
figured
that part out to like this episode.
Yeah, they just kind of figured that part out. But yeah, like it's one of those ones that overall I was like, damn, 60 people going missing, huh? And then like because I felt the same way Kingpin did. 60 people, huh? And sanitation workers are doing a better job than the NYPD? I was like, damn, tell me how you really feel. Because that's exactly how I felt. I was like, yeah, like, where's the cops, bro? Like, the garbage dude found this before you did? Like, come on.
Okay, hold on real quick, just to give a statistic of what the real world missing persons average is in New York per year. Is roughly 13,000 or more per year people go missing in New York City.
I was gonna say, I
thought it's a blip on the radar, if anything.
I thought you were gonna tell us if whether or not Muse was an Inhuman or not.
Well, he's also. I have that too. He's not, but
he's not. But he has powers, right?
Not. It's not specified in the actual comics, but like somebody says, he's an Inhuman artist, which probably is like more of an analogy to the fact that he's using blood to make paint. So. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you get the whites that way with blood.
I got breaking news. 13,000 people a year go missing in New York.
Well, look, the subject had changed it. Give me a break, all right?
I mean, it
wasn't important. I wanted to be right about this. This is what mattered more than just being funny.
I mean, that seems about right then. That seems on par then. Like,
okay,
I was gonna say, I think 1,000 people.
Why would Spider-Man care if it's just the average?
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it depends on how many months too, right? Like, it's like if it's 60 all year, that's a big difference than like there's been 60 people this month. You know what I mean? Like in the last couple weeks.
Well, now that they know there's a serial killer out there, don't you think, he has? I mean, because I know we were promised a Avenger cameo. I think it's gonna be Miss Marvel now.
Probably.
But
probably
we can hold out hope for Tom Holland, but I just feel like at some point other heroes, and I think this is where Marvel kind of runs into the issue, is where like, yeah, but we're so-and-so, like why aren't they like showing up?
Right.
I get the West Coast people because they're on the opposite side, but
Grayson, I have a question now.
I have an answer, maybe.
Does the research there that shows the 13,000 people a year, does it show which month like has the most?
It doesn't give me specifically like the highest month where people go missing.
Grayson's just gonna start getting tracked.
Man, I see a little blip here that says the FBI is watching you. Huh?
That's fine. No, don't worry about that. Just ignore it. You keep doing the research.
Just ignore it. Yeah.
The FBI.
Yeah, my computer's acting weird, guys. If I go out,
tomorrow at work, Grayson, someone's just gonna come up to me and be like, "So, do you know how many people go missing?" You're like, "Oh, no."
FBI stands for Funny Book Index. Just ignore it. It's fine.
If my feed goes out, the CIA did it. All right.
Is that how it goes?
All right. So we kind of talked about what was going on in this episode. There was also the point where Kingpin goes to like this fundraiser to get his money for his 2-tower project at the docks.
Yeah, and that lady's being not nice.
And everyone was like just so mean, and I was like, this feels very unrealistic. Like they're just being like,
I guarantee you it is not.
You wanna build some buildings we're gonna make some money off of? We know what you did. I don't give a crap what he did. They're probably just as dirty as he. Well, maybe not.
No, I'm not realistic. On this one. Like, you might think they're being mean or whatever, but I feel like when you are rich and high society and fundraisers and things like that, like I guarantee you those people aren't nice, and everybody's just. It's like
if you're not from that world,
it's the Ides of March always in there.
You're dirty.
There's lots of knives and backs all over the place, you know.
You're a commoner who decided to step up into a world that's quote unquote theirs. They're gonna make sure that if you fuck up, they're gonna kick you back down the stairs and make sure you don't come back.
They don't want you there. You're a peasant, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
They're like,
outside
oh,
of
you're
the,
making money. You're trying to use us for, what we do to everybody else all the time. Good luck, buddy. We'll see what happens.
outside of
Like,
the
look at what happened. Like,
swordsman,
for
who do you
example, like, look at what happened with the GameStop stocking guys, or one. They had like this one like advisor come on air, and he's like, "These poor people are robbing rich people. This is bullshit." And it's like, ho, you do this to us all the time, buddy.
You do this
Calm
all the
down,
time, dude.
right?
Get out of here. You just don't. What is it that they say? We're just playing the game how you guys play it. No, but you can't play it like that. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like
doing the same thing you're doing.
No, you can't. But it's unfair. You do it the same way, but it's unfair though, because you're winning.
You can't do it that way. Yeah, I was like, ugh.
The way you guys doing that reminds me of I don't know the guy's name, but he goes around asking people to play tag with him. And so he'll like tag your it, and then as soon as they start chasing after him, he like screams. He's like, "No, stop! I don't want to play this game anymore."
And that's what it's like being rich and powerful. Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
That's what it reminded me of.
No, rob him of all his money and put him in jail. He's being unfair.
How many of those people do you think we see go missing into Kingpin's little dungeon prison by the end of the season?
You're going to fund my project, so I will not let you out of here.
Right. Probably not like a lot, because like those people, there's a difference between artist guy who just was an artist and no one gave a shit about him, and rich people that, people want to do things with. Or
the city was infected. I simply got rid of the infection.
I took out the rot.
Out with the old, in with the new, Vanessa.
She's much better than the old Vanessa.
He replaces Vanessa with another Vanessa.
She is cloned almost perfectly, but she did not cheat on me. Therefore, she is better.
She also has bigger tits.
I paid the scientist to do that specifically, as a recompense for her sins against me.
I found a scientist who not only can clone dinosaurs, which he has done on a small private island I've acquired, but has also found a gene relative just to boob size. You're welcome.
Well, speaking of the party, it was kind of cool to see Tony Dalton come back as Jack Duquesne, make a little cameo, so to speak.
Well, we got to see him kind of. Well, we saw Swordsman at one point with the little breakup camera.
Yeah, when he was doing that whole like, you got to be careful. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Might just make a call. It's got to be the most unhinged one we've done so far. It'll get all the views though. Yeah, I don't expect we'll see too much more of him in this one, but I know he got announced for another series, I want to say.
It's probably Hawkeye season 2, but
okay, yeah, that would make sense.
I wouldn't trust any announcements you hear today just because it is April 1st.
True. Nick, I saw one that said Nick was cast as Wolverine.
Yep, don't trust that. My agent has been polling for months. They will not ever. I saw one that said Jeremy from A Day to Remember is going solo and making a country album.
You know what? As crazy as that sounds, I don't know. I think Jeremy could do it. Have you heard? Have Faith in Me acoustically. It's not bad.
I have.
Are you saying he's pulling a Ronnie Radke? Going to go make a country album?
I don't think Jeremy can do the Post Malone thing though.
No, probably not.
I'm surprised Post Malone even pulled it off.
I'm not.
Yeah, he's from Texas, dude. Like, there's no way he wouldn't be able to pull it off.
I understand that, but going off of like the first album and like every the last few albums.
Dude, if you have that much money, you're gonna sound good no matter what you do. Like, I get it, but at the same time, like he's gonna find a way. He's got the money to do it.
That's not true, Grayson. That's not true. Beyonce has a lot more money than Post Malone, and her album sucked ass.
Yeah, but that's also because
that way of Queen Bee. I'm kidding. Don't take me seriously on that.
I was gonna say, are you part of the Beehive?
No, she tried to just
Never send it to me again, Nick. I will.
She tried to
Things
make
will
her
happen.
own country music. And the difference is Posty, first of all, features, lots of actual country music artists on his album to start. And then two, like, you know what I mean? He respects it. Like that's the bit that a lot of people don't get, right? Is like you have to respect the genre.
Yeah.
And he respects the genre is what happened, right? That's why he gave us actually some pretty good, country bops from Post Malone, right? Yeah, because I mean, like realistically, it's one of those ones that lots of people try to break out and do other things. Like Garth Brooks tried to make a rock album, wasn't great.
An emo rock album, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't great. Lil Wayne tried to make a rock album, wasn't great. But it's one of those ones that,
MGK keeps trying to make albums. They're not great.
just
He tries
all
to
of
make
MGK.
music. Can't even call it that.
Music wasn't great.
I mean, to be fair, after he failed in his duet with Eminem there, he's been much better than rapping.
True.
I saw
he's better in his pop phase.
I saw MGK at the airport in Phoenix, and I went and downloaded Rap God right in front of him.
Nice.
I do not like MGK. I listened to it on my headphones. Yeah, I wasn't about to put it out loud.
You should have just done that whole bit. Was it Jimmy Kimmel play the John Cena theme song in front of Cody Rhodes? I thought that was great. You should have done that. Just pulled out your guitar and played Rap God on the guitar in front of him.
Yeah, I didn't have my guitar, and I don't know how to play Rap God on the guitar.
It's just a lot of finger, just that's it.
That's why he's so popular.
So, but yeah, it's one of those things. Back to the Daredevil bit.
Wait, this was Daredevil?
Yeah, dude, we get hella off topic sometimes. It happens.
Squirrel. What?
Squirrel is exactly right. So ratings.
Episode
real
6.
quick, before we wrap it all the way up, what do we think is going to happen with the hit squad that Kingpin put together at the end of the episode?
That is a good point. I was going to bring that up, and then Squirrel. I was going to ask, what are we calling Kingpin's? You know what I mean? His Suicide Squad, his hit force, his goons, his enforcers. We call them the bowling pins.
No, it's not
I don't.
Could you imagine? You guys are henceforth known as my goon squad.
Yeah, you guys are the.
No, it's the
Why are you laughing?
vigilantes.
You're goons in your squad.
You are my bowling pins. Yeah, it's like what are we calling these guys?
You are my balls, my bowling balls.
My bowling balls. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I'm gonna call you my street sweepers. Yeah, I was like, what are we calling this enforcement thing?
I think honestly that's how Punisher's gonna come back. I mean, or I could see them bringing Punisher back for it.
They're just gonna call themselves the Punishers.
Well, I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to one of them is going to end up taking the Punisher logo and trying to be that guy. And then the Punisher's going to be like, no, we're not doing that.
Hold on. No. Yeah. That would be kind of cool, actually, for that to happen. Just because, obviously they're out here trying to dispense, as they say, street justice. Yeah. But no, it's one of those ones I was curious about that, too. I was like, what are we calling these guys?
Goon Squad.
The Goon Squad. And, of course, like I said, and of course, the one dude from the first couple episodes or whatever somehow is part of it, right? Somehow makes it onto the team of the Goon Squad, as we shall affectionately know them by, going forth. But yeah, I was curious about that too. I was like, I wonder what's going to happen here. What's in play with that business?
Nothing good.
So yeah, I encouraged him. My boss didn't see it that way, okay?
Yeah, I don't see any good coming from the Goon Squad, period.
No? The Goon Squad.
You just faced Gooner justice.
I want that to be a thing so badly now.
Because that's how we do it over here.
Like if they were to ever bring back parody movies like they used to, just overload with another superhero, Just I am Goon Man. Like, oh
You start
god,
walking around like a 1950s game, being like, "We're the goons, see?" And you just got goon adjusters.
Goons! You've just been gooned.
That's like
see, you just got
Clockwork
gooned.
Orange kind of shit, though. Jesus. Oh,
We're gonna goon you, see?
You got gooned.
you can tell him it was Kingpin.
Whoa. We're
Yeah,
gonna goon you to death, see? Whoa, hey, buddy. What time do you think this is, man?
Nothing good is gonna come from them.
Nothing good is going to come of that. Yeah. Oh, okay,
Before we
Grayson.
start going off topic too much on that.
Now we got that out of the way.
Let's say ratings. Let's get
What
to
we
that.
got, boys?
Keegan, you start us off.
Okay.
Or Nick, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna give two separate ratings. I'm gonna give episode 5 about a 7. I mean, it was good, but it felt kind of out of place to me a little bit. And then episode 6, I'm gonna say was a 9 out of 10.
All right, I'll take the ball next. Same thing. I think episode 8, probably an 8.5. I really enjoyed the bank robbery stuff. I think it set up the characters, the universe, a lot of the other stuff really well. I'll give episode 6 a 9. Absolutely entertaining. I can't wait to see episode 7 tonight, which super hyped. Can't wait to see what goes on. But yeah, that's my rating.
Shigan?
I was gonna let you go.
No, I was going to let you go.
I was gonna let you go.
I was going
No.
to let you go.
Nolan, go.
All right, fine, I'll go. Right, so episode 5 for me feels pretty good on the whole.
Preparation H does feel
Preparation
good.
H,
It's
yeah.
a little chapped.
Nolan, what were you saying?
No, I was saying episode 5 gets a 7.5 for me. We're building up to good things. There's definitely more punches thrown, and it makes me very happy. But overall, like I feel like because we talked about this before, like the reshoots and things like that. Like I feel like this is just because the tone is a little bit different. I feel like this is where they really started pivoting to make things a little bit different, and it shows. So yeah, 7.5 for me for episode 5, and then I'm gonna go and give episode 6 an 8.5, just because it was there was just a lot of ass getting kicked all over the place, and that made me super happy. Yeah,
That man was turned into a rag doll.
He was definitely turned into a rag doll. That guy, what's his name? Andrew, right? I'm sure his name's Andrew. Yeah, he got turned into fucking Raggedy Andy, dude. It was crazy. He is now known as Raggedy Andy. That's his name. So yeah, but I give that episode definitely like an 8.5. We're headed towards good things, and I liked it. I'm a man of not simple pleasures, but it's I'm a simple man, I should say. No, it's one of those ones that like, because like the thing sometimes that kills me about this when like people are like, oh man, this show isn't good, or this movie isn't good, or whatever, and it's like, well, it's missing like this or this. Like a perfect example is the whole Godzilla versus Kong, right? Like the first one, everyone was like, it's not a good movie. We're all butthurt because there's not enough of the human element or whatever, right? And I was like, okay, first of all, I'm sorry. I went to this movie to watch a monkey fight a lizard.
Yeah, if you're there to see the people like interact, you went there with the wrong intentions. Absolutely.
That's like
big ass lizard versus big ass monkey. That's it. That's all I want. Fight each other.
What are the people feeling right now? I really want to know.
If I watched 2 hours of a monkey and a lizard punching each other, I would have gone home happy. Like that's
the lady researcher said that Kong's not there. I really want to know.
Yeah, it's like watching porn for the acting.
Right, for the plot. No, it's
for the plot. Yeah.
Have they taken one acting class in their entire life? This is ridiculous.
But that's
don't they realize that's not how a babysitter would be paid. They expect cash.
Who gets stuck in a dryer? Seriously.
That pizza got there way too fast. Yeah, but it's just it's
who gets stuck in a dryer.
So for me, it's one of those ones like I came here to watch Daredevil, whoop some ass or whatever, and that's what I'm here for. So they finally gave me that, and I'm happy with it. It's leading up to good things, because like as much as like the little cool courtroom drama was or whatever, like keep that shit to Law and Order. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff created by Dick Wolf, great, but at the same time, like I really just want to watch a dude in a red suit beat people up. Yeah, break kneecaps.
Well, I mean, it's part of who Matt is, so there is a place for the drama with the whole courtroom stuff, but as long as it's 50-50, because that's perfect balance of Matt to Daredevil ratio, in my opinion.
Well, like I said, I get it.
Or
You know what I mean?
60-40.
You're right.
What
You're right.
about
I would think, but that's I was like
episodes to half an episode, Grayson.
But I was like 60-40 is like where I would probably put that line, Grayson, of like, can I get like 60% Daredevil, like red suit guy, and like 40 courtroom drama, and I'd probably
don't get me wrong.
Those numbers,
The thing I was gonna say,
we're here to say Red Man. That's pretty much it. I get that, but you have to have a little bit of that other drama to kind of keep, at least Matt's story as well, kind of interesting a little bit.
Fair.
But
no, and I get that, right? Like because you can't just have a full action thing, but
right. But even then, the series, even the Netflix series, they've done a great job with the slow burn.
Very true.
The slow burn has been like some of the episodes haven't been super satisfying without Daredevil. Not in Born Again so far. I've enjoyed Born Again, but like season 3 of the Netflix series was a very slow burn, but it paid off really, really well.
Well, Nick, to your point, like think of season 2 and they introduced Punisher. Probably some of the best writing for Daredevil and Punisher in the entire series.
To like the last episode.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but my point is that even like the case is really like what I really should have said is like the case is really built into Matt's Daredevil side of his persona, where nobody really wants to see Matt doing a whole courtroom drama. Nobody wants to see that. But where the case is in his personal life leading to the Daredevil side of his alter ego, that's kind of where the sweet spot needs to be, for sure.
Agreed.
Keegan, your ratings?
Well, 2 quick little things. Every time the police commissioner comes on, I just think he would have made a better Ross than Harrison Ford. I don't know why. That's just I was like, man, he's got a mustache. He talks kind of similar stature. I'm like, why didn't they just make this dude Ross? I get it, because Harrison Ford is why some people want to see that movie.
I was like, well, it's because they still believe that Harrison Ford can put.
I'll be right back.
But it's
Can we let Harrison Ford? Can we let Harrison Ford retire already?
Right, but I was going to say,
make
also,
it. No,
he's doing this till he's 90.
He's got to do it till he's 90, Nick. That's the new rule. Or Deadpool said so. Yeah. Everybody 90.
He's been 90 for like 84 years though.
That's a true story.
Just kidding. No offense against Harrison Ford.
Nolan, can we fact check that? Would you be able to fact check the last time he turned 90?
I don't like the idea of a 67-year-old man surviving a nuclear blast with a fridge door.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but those 1940s, 1950s fridges were made of sturdier stuff. So I definitely believe you could. Okay. Lead lined, like sturdy.
I can believe it.
I guarantee you if you probably found one and plugged one in today, it would still work.
All right, so that's our goal. Next episode, we'll have one of these fridges. We're going to see if you can survive a blast. We'll find out.
I volunteer as tribute. Tell Sydney Sweeney that I miss her.
Jesus.
For my ratings, I will go 7.5 out of 10 for episode 5. I think it was good. It was definitely short, and I liked aspects of it, but then other aspects, I think, dropped the rating. It's not bad. Like, obviously, 7.5 is still a good rating, but when you're comparing it against the rest of the series, it just felt kind of weak, and then it felt like some of the issues we've had with the previous phase of MCU kind of crept in a little bit, and so who knows how much of that was reshoot, like pre-reshoot, I guess, or retooling. As far as episode 6, it was pretty solid. I'll give it like 8. It would have been a 9, but I think to get there, there's just some weak parts, and at some point, I don't know, the little news breaks every once in a while, I'm like, okay, just get back to the action. Like sometimes it just feels excessive, and feels more like we're going to tell you what's going on versus showing you. I'm like, okay.
Which is kind of weak. Nobody likes that. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, but the ending made up for it. Just that dual fight scene between Muse and Daredevil, and then is it Adam?
Adam or Andrew, whatever his name.
Yeah,
is.
Andrew.
The guy.
Andrew.
The guy in the
again,
basement.
like I said, no, it's no longer Andrew. It's Raggedy Andy. Okay.
Raggedy Andy.
Sounded different. What I had said in my mind.
That sounded differently in your head.
Final thoughts. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna top this. This feels like the best episode we've ever done. Oh, you meant Daredevil?
Cool. Anyway, catch you guys next time.
Yeah, we've yapped enough. It's time to sign off, boys.
I agree.
Till next time.